All right, guys, it's Jahlon, and today we're jumping right in. We're going to do the Ashes 101 crash course on nodes. So the first question is, what are nodes? It's a really complicated answer. Nodes are everything in Ashes of Creation. This video is going to assume you've watched the Ashes of Creation crash course on the world of Vera. If you haven't seen that, it's at the upper right-hand corner. I don't want you to get lost on some of these terms. So, what are nodes? They are the centers of civilizations built by the player. It's the key feature in Ashes of Creation because Ashes of Creation is a player driven world that is the result of player agency. Now, every single thing in the game builds off of nodes. Your quest hubs, your business hubs, your player housing, your PvP will build off nodes in node sieges and wars, your caravan launch areas, your artisan system, your crafting, your best crafting is done in nodes. So pretty much everything is going to be tied to this node system. Now, before we go on, I think it's important to address Ashes of Creation. This isn't New World. Guilds do not control nodes. Guilds control castles. I'm going to talk about castles in another video. There's a placeholder one up there in the right-hand corner. For the nodes, there's 4 node types. There's 4 different election methods. So these 4 node types are divine nodes. The mayor gets chosen by who does the most PvE quests. There's economic nodes. You buy the mayorship. There's military nodes, which is going to be a PvP tournament of some sort. And then there's the scientific nodes. These are done by popular election. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be saying, well, I need to know more about that. More on this topic coming soon. I'm going to be redoing the nodes stage 3 and higher video. The current one is in the corner, or if you want more information right now, you can visit Ashes 101. I don't want to put too much in this first video. So now, how is the node system different from other games? Other games, you have preset locations. You are led from NPC city to NPC city. The zones have preset level ranges for content. The starter areas end up barren after launch, and the players aren't in control of the world. You're really on a guided tour. Now, Ashes is different from other games because each server will be different. On each server, there are 85 nodes, and there are 5 vassal chains of 13 nodes for 65 of the nodes. And then there's going to be 20 independent buffer nodes. Now, I know a lot of that's not going to make sense right now. I'm going to try to fill in the blanks in the next couple of slides. So when you start Ashes of Creation, you're going to come to the world through a divine gate, and you're going to head to a starter camp. And those starter camps are going to have a range of content somewhere between 1 in 5, 1 in 10, just enough to really give you a foothold in the world. After that, you're going to be engaging with the node system. So again, these nodes are center of civilization. The first node stage is wilderness, and as you can see, there's nothing there. Literally, the wilderness is stage 0, nothing there, no NPCs, or maybe a one-off NPC. But as you move through the stages of expedition, you're going to see that there's some quest givers there. Now, we haven't had a chance to get good in-game footage from the other stages, but you'll have your encampment. It'll start growing a little bit, and then you have a village. And don't let the word village confuse you. Villages can be fairly built up, as you see in some of this concept art. This is what they plan on for villages. After that, you'll move into the town phase, getting ever larger each phase. You'll have the city phase, and then you'll have one of the 5 sprawling metropolis. Now, at launch, the nodes will not be developed. You're going to have stage 0 nodes. This is wilderness. Now, the way nodes grow is players doing anything to gain XP in a zone of influence feeds XP to the appropriate node. Now, these initial stage 0 nodes will have a range of content from level 1 to 5 or level 1 to 10, and then eventually the nodes will grow. And what happens is a stage 1 node would then have content from 1 to 10 or 1 to 15, and then eventually as the nodes grow, stage 2 would be 1 to 20, stage 3 would be 1 to 30, and so on. The key here is that all nodes have level 1 content. All nodes have early content and through the max level content that node can provide. So new players can venture out to any node, and they can not be restricted to that guided tour other games do. The big thing here is the node locations. Nodes can be on mainland, obviously. Nodes can be on islands. Nodes can be in the underrealm. Now, I heard a lot of people asking a question about node growth and limitation. Every node has the potential to go to stage 6. Yes, they can fit on the small islands, with the caveat that if a node can be stage 1 on one of those small islands, then that area will allow that node to go to stage 6. As I said previously, there is a max of 5 stage 6 nodes on any server. Now, with that, a change in 2022 has been now every node can grow to stage 2. After stage 2, the neighboring nodes will block growth. So what that will look like is you're going to have 2 stage 2 nodes next to each other, both racing, both trying to reach stage 3. And then as that first one changes and reaches stage 3, that village stage, it will actually block out that stage 2 node. That stage 2 node cannot grow until its blocking out neighboring node progresses a level. We set the scenario up a little differently. You've got this stage 3 node here. You've got our original stage 2 nodes. That stage 3 is going to reach out and try to vassalize a node. What you're going to have is it vassalizes this node. Now you're going to notice their names underneath them are going to change. Now you have a stage 2 vassal node and you have a stage 2 buffer node. Now, we have a lot of questions about buffer nodes. You can leave those in the comments below. I may not have all the answers, but I am going to hopefully get some of those answers from Intrepid soon. So nodes stages 0 to 2, they become vassalized territory. They are considered territories. They're not considered nodes in their own right. If you remember from the World of Vera video, nodes do not come under player control until stage 3. One new fact is if the parent node is destroyed, the territory is destroyed as well. This only applies to stage 1 and stage 2 nodes. If the node is stage 3 or higher and its parent is destroyed, it remains in place. So what we have now is we have that stage 4 node has grown. Take note, its architecture has changed. The other node that was a vassal, it happened to level up to stage 3. And now that stage 3 node may reach out and try to vassalize that stage 2 buffer node if it can. It might also look the other direction or south, looking for its territory. The thing about node appearance, nodes will take on the appearance of the race that contributed the most XP to stage up. This will change at every stage up. So that means you could be living in a Vec node today. It's stage 3. It levels up to stage 4, but the Pi Ray contributed the most XP, and that's going to change the architecture of everything inside the node, including the in-node houses. Freeholds, those are independent. We'll talk about those in the housing video. There is a modifier on how many nodes your race can reflect. What this does is the more nodes that already reflect your racial architecture, the less likely it is for you to get a new one. This prevents the whole world from looking like 1 or 2 races. Nodes and other content. Dungeons and raids tie in with the node system. Entrances to dungeons and raids or extra rooms in dungeons and raids will unlock as the node level. The boss AI behavior tree grows as the nodes level, which means a dungeon near a stage 3-4 cluster of nodes will be easier contextually than a dungeon that's near stage 5 and 6 nodes. One of the things we heard is that as the 5 Metropolis come on, those Metropolis and their types will feed bosses, world bosses, raid bosses, different skills. Speaking of world bosses, every time a node stages up, it can spawn an event. These can be invasions, these on the node. These can be world bosses being spawned. These can be local, regional, or planet-wide weather changes. These events can damage or disrupt your node. What they cannot do is they cannot destroy your node, not directly. We're going to redo all the Ashes 101 videos. I'm going to talk about this when we talk about node sieges. Up there in the corner is the current placeholder. These events can also be the Monster Coin events that you've heard of in the past. Monster Coin events allow players to take control of the mobs. So with that said today, guys, I know it was like drinking from a fire hose. My next couple of videos, I'm going to redo the nodes at stage 3 and higher video that's going to talk about really that's going to talk about player government, player housing ties in. I'm going to talk about the Vassal system because there's been a lot of changes to the Vassal system. And with that said, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Also, I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on Twitch. I do a show called Ashes 101. You can swing by if you want to check that out. Also, ashes101.com in the corner, I think I had one left, is my website. It reads like a textbook. I know not everybody enjoys reading the wiki, and that the wiki quotes are kind of daunting sometimes. So until next time, if you have a question, leave it in the comments below. I'll see you on Twitch, and then Node's Stage 3 government and player housing coming out soon.